Yo, it's your boy Logos, and today I want to react to Thomas Sowell clip where he discusses how politicians escape economic reality. And this reminded me of the pandemic and what happened in 2020. Many politicians were going about business as usual, getting their hair done, going to parties, doing major gatherings, while at the same time telling everybody else, the citizens, the people that vote them and pay their paychecks, that they gotta stay inside, lose their small businesses, lose their savings, and somehow, some way, not, I don't know, lose their sanity or their whole future through it all. And then increasingly print more money, putting us into higher inflation while themselves got so much money, it doesn't really bother them. Plus, they do so much insider trading, so whatever does go down or hurts the economy for the American people really doesn't affect the politicians. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to make this channel, and that's why I want to react to this video. So let's get into it.
Wouldn't it be wonderful to live in a world where there were no prices? If you happened to want a Rolex or a Rolls-Royce, you could just go get one, or two if you wanted, and not have to worry about ugly little things like price tags. There is such a world. It is the world of political rhetoric. No wonder so many people are attracted to that world. It would be a great place to live. After Arthur Goldberg had served on the Supreme Court, he lamented that more of society's problems could not be dealt with as that court dealt with them, by reaching a decision and then declaring, "It is so ordered." Politics offers something similar. Theoretically, political decisions are limited by budgets, but for many experienced politicians, that limit is mostly theoretical. Government budgets, after all, are only projections of what is supposed to happen, not a hard and fast record of what has in fact happened. And seldom will the public or the media do anything so mean-spirited as go back and compare what the budget said would happen with what actually happened. Moreover, politicians can put certain large expenditures off budget for any number of noble-sounding reasons. And if you have long experience in using political rhetoric, nothing is easier than coming up with noble-sounding reasons. If you could put it off budget, wouldn't you buy a second home at the beach, or maybe a yacht to go out on the water? Why not live a little, or a lot? Politicians have more ways of escaping from prices than Houdini had ways of escaping from locks. When savvy Pauls want to hand out goodies, but don't want to take responsibility for raising taxes to pay for them, they can tax people who can't vote, namely the next generation, by getting the money by selling government bonds that future taxpayers will have to redeem. Even such deficit spending leaves a record, however, a national debt that is the ghost of Christmas past. But politicians can even get around that. The most politically painless way to hand out goodies without taking responsibility for their costs is to pass a law saying that somebody else must provide those goodies at their expense, while the politicians take credit for generosity and compassion. Employers are ideal targets for such mandates, since there are always more employees than employers, and that is what counts on election day. Whether it is health insurance, time off with pay, or whatever, these mandates on employers can be washed down with a little rhetoric about businesses' social responsibilities. Where those social responsibilities come from is not a problem. It sounds good, and that is good enough for politics. Some people may go away mad if they are ignored. Costs are not like that. You can ignore them all you want, and they still won't go away. While you are enjoying all the goodies that politicians are sending your way, you may notice that your taxes are going up, or that the money you earn or the money you have saved won't buy as much as it used to. Costs that are passed on to businesses can get passed on again to their customers in higher prices. Money that the government prints to spend itself reduces the value of the money in your wallet or in your bank account. If you are someone looking for a job, maybe a young person entering the labor force, or a woman coming back into the labor force after spending a few years taking care of a small child, you may find that there aren't as many jobs available as there used to be before employers had to pay for social responsibilities, in addition to paying for the value of an employee's work. Desperate times can call for desperate measures, so maybe you will try to find out from some economist what is going on. You may not get any much better explanation than "there is no free lunch," which is one of many reasons why economists are not popular. But there really is no free lunch, except in the world of political rhetoric, a world that so many want to be in, where they can play Santa Claus without even paying the cost of buying a costume.
Another excellent video from Thomas Sowell. Excuse me. But yeah, I completely agree with everything said. The whole idea of just printing money, it sounds good at first, but that's only good when you're naive. We understand that how to devalue your actual money. Then you could be in situations like Germany post World War I, where I think bread costs like what, 69 million in the value of German. I can't remember the exact German currency at the time, but 69 million of those could buy you like bread or something. Like, it's insane. So just having a whole bunch of money being printed and thrown into the system, where it's not being actually produced in a or some type of backing, you're only gonna hurt the economy further. But people don't understand that. People just feel more entitled nowadays. They say we need more benefits, we need more free money, we need more of this, and that, and the other. As if we're now already in debt, as if we're now already not taking care of our veterans, as if we don't have all these other stuff we need to take care of first. I'm of the opinion that we could cut back on our military budget at least just a bit to make sure our infrastructure, the people, the citizens, the people that actually make up our army if we ever have to go into war in the future, are actually healthy, have high morale, so we would be more in that war and be, I don't know, more willing to fight in it. It seems smart to me to invest into your people while at the same time investing into your military. But if you have nothing but economic collapse and people are stressed about living paycheck to paycheck, getting enough groceries like we've seen in the past few years since the pandemic happened, it's just hard to have a stable country. I know we're better off than a lot of other countries around the world, but it doesn't mean we can't improve. And printing all this money, from my understanding, we printed what, like millions, and not even millions, but like maybe like billions or maybe trillions of dollars. I don't know if it's true, but I think I saw like in the comment down below, or even saw like in the article like a year or so ago, that like 40% of our money was printed within the time of the pandemic or something like that. I can't understand how that's going to be able to, in the future, improve our economy or our way of living. When we was getting no free checks during the pandemic, I was just curious about where the money was coming from. How can we afford to give out free money when nobody's working or producing or selling anything? You can't even have small businesses open. You only have major corporations, but still somehow, some way, everybody can get free money. And I'm not saying that people should have been like supported during the time when they wasn't allowed to work. I'm of the opinion that people should have been allowed to work. You built your business for how many decades, how many years? You invested all this money into it, and it didn't collapse because you couldn't get sales or because your product wasn't good, but because the government said you couldn't open. Even though you're healthy, you're fine, you're a grown person, and people are grown to make their own decisions. Plus, the disease wasn't as bad as people try to make it seem, or the government made it seem. But we all know that was about money. The people that made those vaccines, such and so forth, like, we already know that's just about money. But once again, it's just further proof for me that I don't trust the government or politicians to always make the best decisions for me. They don't really care about our health or anything like that. If they can use us to sell some more money to their donors or get more money for themselves through their donors, whatever government contracts they could write up to a military industrial complex company or a pharmaceutical company, they'll do it. I'm all in favor of rooting out corruption and getting these people out, not just overthrowing the system. That's what a lot of people want to do nowadays, but that's just not me. Corruption gonna pop up no matter what system you have. Democracy, autocracy, anarchy, any of that BS that they talk about Marxism. At the end of the day, it's corruption. You need to recognize politicians that don't live the lives that we live, and they sell us this stuff to get votes and gain the power and to actually get money off of us. But at the same time, telling us to do certain things they won't do. Like I said, at the start of the pandemic, people getting their hair done, like Maxine Waters. I can't remember that other female politician that's part of the Democratic Party. Like, she's like the top female politician in the Democratic Party. Or even the governor of California having parties, going out to dinners, all this other stuff. People wearing no mask and then being caught on camera saying this is just a show, wearing this mask is like nothing really, just a formality. We gotta do it for the cameras. Stuff like that is what I mean. Well, let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's your boy Logos. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.